I'm sick. I don't feel good. But at least we have new merch. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we are going to be talking about Boy Scouts! Yes, sir! Hoorah! Yes, sir! The scouting movement started all the way back in 1907 in England with the goal of creating good citizens and outdoors savvy youth. Young scouts could earn merit badges, hold leadership roles, and become valuable members in their communities. Thank you, Boy Scouts. I imagine at the beginning people were like, that's kind of cool.
I didn't know it was from Britain. I thought it was American.
The UK. Our boys need to go out and fatty do a little something in woods, huh? Aye, sir. Yes, sir. Let me help you with your bags, ma'am. Also, can I whittle you a knife made of wood?
The ultimate goal was to become an Eagle Scout, an award given to those who contribute to their communities through a service project. Fast forward to today, and the Boy Scouts are a worldwide phenomenon that has been going relatively strong for the last, century or so. Relatively. Some people might say the Boy Scouts not as cool as they used to be.
No.
They wouldn't know, though. It's relative. Many who have joined speak highly of their experience and encourage others to join so they can learn the valuable skills offered. Not everyone had the same experience and despised the Scouts with every fiber of their being. And for good reason, as you'll soon find out. Yeah, not going to be a positive video by the Boy Scouts. You clicked on the wrong channel. Giving preteens knives can be dangerous, and those on the outside judge heavily for joining. In recent years, the dark underbelly of scouting has come to light. As thousands of boys who were sexually abused by their leaders have come forward with their stories, leading to a lot of scouting drama, Kids coming forth and talking about their sexual abuse and stuff. All the guys are like, it's just drama. This doesn't even include all the injuries and dangerous adventures that have occurred on troop outings. So put on your sashes and grab your compass as we navigate the crazy world of Boy Scouts. How much of this document is men raping boys?
We kept that to the end, so.
That does not answer. I mean, to be fair, you can't talk about the Boy Scouts without bringing up, it's a problem. It's just drama. Relative drama. Most people think that Scouts is just merit badges and campouts. That's what they think the Boy Scouts are. But little do they know, it's also filled with cult-like ceremonies. You think that it's just going out and you pound around, maybe getting touched by your scout leader, or going out fishing.
My dad was my scout
Easy.
leader.
Did you hear the last thing I just said?
Well, I thought
getting touched by your scout leader, and Nick's immediately just like, my dad didn't it?
No.
Let's just hold on a second. Let me get to where I was going. Because people think that joining the Scouts is just peeling potatoes with knives, fucking making those stupid ass cars that you do the race cars stuff with it, or it's fishing. I was in the Boy Scouts for a small period of time, very small period of time. Even when I was a kid, I was just like,
yeah, it wasn't very fun.
The fuck is this shit, dude? Really? What the fuck? It's like, because also all of it, almost every Boy Scout meeting we had was held in a church. It was very culty. It's a cult-like thing. Just odd.
Mine was held in my house, and then one of the kids was humping my couch.
The Order of the Arrow is an honor society within scouting that only a select few scouts are inducted into. To be selected as a candidate, you must camp at least 15 nights and have been in the organization for 2 years. Now, here's the thing. That criteria is not crazy, okay? You have to camp 15 nights, whoa, and be in there 2 years? What do you think that tells you about the turnaround rate? It is a revolving door. I think I want to do this. Nope, just kidding. So those motherfuckers that last the 15 nights and are able to do it for 2 years, that's a boy I don't want to... But that's a boy I do not want to fuck with, all right? After those requirements are met, your peers then vote you in as a candidate. The ceremony for inductees is insane and very theatrical. All of the scouts are brought to an open field or lake in a line with a massive campfire in the center. Does that feel, what does that also remind you of? Like a satanic ritual? Does it remind you of some kind of fucking Ku Klux Klan? Doesn't it? Yeah, we're gonna put on some spooky ghost outfit, guys. We're scouting. Ceremonial drums and chants can be heard in the distance as a man in a Native American headdress gives a speech. After the speech is over, 2 other Native Americans, are these real Native Americans, are doing this shit? There's no
these
fucking way.
These are men dressed as natives.
Okay, so after the speech, 2 other men dressed as Native Americans begin running up and down the line, stopping at the candidates, and either yelling at them to run to the fire or yanking them out of line. Once all candidates are gone, the true trial begins. For the next 24 hours, they are prohibited from talking or bathing and are only allowed to eat very light rations. They must sleep on the ground in the woods and do manual labor projects.
Gotta toughen them up.
I don't want to get too much into the graphic shit, but does this not read like, I guess we'll have to strip you of your clothes and you'll be, they're weak from not eating, they're delirious, and you can't speak to anyone, can't yell, and you can't bathe, which is just a guy being like, make them stink, make them build up a sweat, and they can't bathe. Put that in there. If any of the scouts fail to adhere to these guidelines, they'll be instantly kicked and allowed to retry the following year if they are elected into this role again, which good luck, buddy. Otherwise, if they complete the trial, they are awarded a sash and a feast. After you become a member, there are tons of events where Order of the Arrow members gather. One of the biggest is the National Order of the Arrow Conference, where they rent out a massive stadium and treat it like a monster truck rally with pyrotechnics and explosions. This is Boy Scouts, by the way. You went out and you fished, you camped, and then I don't know what else happened, but this is what's, you get rewarded. But to come in, you can't bathe, and you can't say a word to anyone. Let's go sell popcorn outside of a Walmart. Come on. But don't. Okay. Can I get my badge later? Yeah, you got this one for the glizzy. I don't trust these motherfuckers one bit. The Order of the Arrow is an organization-wide ceremony, which most people find to be an extraordinary experience. However, not all ceremonies are the same. One camper talked about how during their ceremony, the runners came by with a knife and cut all their hands with the same blade. I think there's an emphasis on the same blade. If I feel like somebody was infected or something. Yeah. They cut Marcus and they cut me. And that's why I look like this. He was then forced to do hard manual labor and was not allowed any food for over 24 hours. Did you not get the fucking quota? That's what happens. Right? Isn't that what happens to everybody? Which getting cut up is not usually the same experience that, it's not the regular occurrence for 99% of the Order of the Arrow members and is seen as extreme. And sadly, it's not the only rigorous ceremony in scouting. Throughout the hundreds of summer camps, there are more local rituals only done at specific locations. So it's like, yeah, they're the ceremonies, but this location, they do this. This is what they like. Don't bathe. Can I come inside?
Can I get a glizzy?
I want one glizzy, please. This video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Breaking bad habits can be hard. Maybe the stress of the holiday season is making that harder? Why don't you let Fume help with that? Fume is not a vape, it's not an e-cig, it's just flavored air, which means you can use Fume anywhere. With Fume, there's no vapor, no nicotine, and no toxic chemicals. And on top of that, Fume is an award-winning device that puts you on the path towards being free from bad habits. For my money, Fume's best flavor is crisp mint, but they have other great flavors like peach, blush, and grapefruit. Another huge plus is how compact the device is. I can take it anywhere or keep it here at my desk without it taking up any space. Fume is also there for when you're feeling anxious. Keep Fume by your side and find your calm with the satisfying clicks and snaps of the device, wherever and whenever you need to. Over 700,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. And for a limited time, if you order the Journey Pack using my code PAPAMEAT, you'll get a free Fume topper. So if you've been thinking about changing your habits, this is the perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/PAPAMEAT or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. Thanks, Fume, for sponsoring the video. Back to the video. The Piper Stone ceremony at Camp Allen is another secretive ceremony that requires scouts to undergo multiple trials and tribulations, and at the end, the scouts are given a pipe stone to wear.
A little hieroglyphic.
Are we in Egypt? Of these who have endured the ceremony, many have reported extremely harsh conditions. One of the trials involved running through the woods by torchlight while wearing a loincloth and being yelled at. And if you fell behind, you'd be kicked up or picked up off the ground and forced to continue. Go! Do not bathe! Many boys have reported being handled roughly, shoved, and kicked, which resulted in injuries and induced vomiting. And what made the experience even more traumatic was the fact that you were not allowed to speak about the abuse because we were all sworn to secrecy. I can't or else the ghost will attack me. That's what they told me. Others are reported being choked, punched, and forced to hug poison ivy trees and much, much worse. What? You hug that thing. Go there and hug it. Despite all of this being well known, many deny its existence and say that the Scouts are being soft. You got soft hands. No legal action has ever been taken against the camp, and the tradition carries on to this very day. And for over a century, the Boy Scouts remained, for the most part, drama-free. It wasn't until recently that they got involved in a little scouting drama. In 2018, the Boy Scouts of America made a controversial decision to allow girls into the organization. I thought this, hey, what? That's what, but we're boys. This is Boy Scouts.
Gotta be gender inclusive.
Is that, well, I don't think it's gonna be gender inclusive. I think they see that. The Girl Scouts are making some fucking money, dude. The cookies. Boy Scouts, you can't see those motherfuckers selling cookies. They'd be like, you better step off our turf. So,
okay, hold on. Here's a question. Do Girl Scouts do anything besides sell cookies? Because it sounds like the Boy Scouts are like, that's like boys club. You go out and get stinky and you're in the wilderness. And it seems like the girls just sell cookies because they're cute.
Why can't it? That's a good point. If there was a thing called the Cookie Scouts and it's like we just raise money for our, which I guess, do they raise money for the Girl Scouts? And if so, what are they spending money on? It's like, how do you think we fucking make these? We gotta have money to make these cookies.
It's only the organization, the Girl Scouts, make the money. Or like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they do. Do they go camping?
I don't know. I've never been in it. I've never thought about that conspiracy of how do we know that they don't just have a costume and they're just making like, it's a cookie business that it's child labor. And it's a cookie business where, yeah, people are like, it's the Scouts. You're going to be by this big oven. Take him out. Do we have mitts? Mm-mm. Bare hands.
The Boy Scouts should start selling cookies on their off season.
The Boy Scouts need to do they need to sit outside and they need to grill. Do burgers.
A glizzy?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, a hot dog stand would go hard, I feel like. Then the Girl Scouts immediately filed a trademark infringement lawsuit claiming that the terms Scouts and Scouting were wrongfully marketed to girls. This, they argued, confused both potential members and their parents about which organization to join. Which I'd be like, what the fuck what are you so confused for? Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts? I don't know. Which one is it? I'd say I don't fucking care. You want cookies? Yeah. Then go to that one.
You want to get stinky?
You want to get stinky? Oh, yeah. You better believe it, Mom. I'm going to roll around the mud. The Boy Scouts responded by saying their claims were utterly meritless and that all the new girl members were joining because they wanted to. Dubbed the recruitment war. Both organizations fought with each other to get new members while claiming that they are the rightful owners of the term scouting. This lasted for over 3 years until it was settled in court after all claims were dropped. The whole reason why the organization changed was because for not evolving and being a mostly white and anti-gay organization. All right, that's what the Boy Scouts, a little white boy, little Nazi club. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Can I join? When they do comply with demands, tons of people and institutions call them out for being woke. No winning. All right, fine. Get on in here, gay kid. Yay. Woke. All right, get out. Aw. That's the same kid, just back and forth. It's not just the public that is abandoning the organization, but the Church of Latter-day Saints has also dropped its support. Remember what I said earlier on? This fucking Mormon churches, that's all they were in. It's fucked up. For the majority of the existence, the Latter-day Saints Church has been the Boy Scouts' biggest donor and supplier of new scouts. Starting in 2013, when the Boy Scouts started being more friendly towards atheists and eventually allowed gays, the Latter-day Saints Church loyalty was shaky. What do you like them boys? Why them boys? I don't know. We just want new people coming in. We need good boys in there. Bad boys. It wasn't until they allowed girls that the line had been crossed. Gays and atheists, people that are completely opposed to their beliefs, whatever, they're like, I don't know. And it wasn't until just a girl came in, they're like, okay, what is this?
Well, now you're crossing lines.
Now you're crossing a line.
Why don't you just call it the Scouts?
What are you gonna do, have heterosexual sex? I'm bored. There's still plenty of boys to have sex with. I know. This is so stupid. This not only caused the overall enrollment to drop significantly, but also severely worsened their already terrible finances and pushed the organization to near bankruptcy. Most recently, the Boy Scouts have escaped bankruptcy and have changed their name to Scouting America. This has led to another outrage, which people believe is the final coffin, with the phrase "go woke" or "go broke" being thrown around.
So the reason they changed their name was so they could be more inclusive. You can be a furry or a transgender or a female or a boy or whatever you want to be and come to and join the Boy Scouts.
I can't win. It's bound to end eventually. It's going to end. It's just such an outdated thing.
Oh, the Boy Scouts.
What could you possibly do to make it?
Got to make them tech Boy Scouts, like tech bros.
You had to almost change it to where it's just like useful stuff. Back in the day, it's like in the wild, in case you need to support your family. Now you need to have like kids come in and be like, you're going to learn how to code. You're going to be an AI engineer.
Well, now you got to do doomsday prepping.
Oh, see, or you have two extremes. You either do, you want a job when you're out of college, we're going to help you get there with AI Imagineering or whatever. Or you go super the other direction. It's just like, God's going to kill you and you should be afraid. And also AI is going to kill us, doomsday preppers. And then you get you have to attack the kids' parents.
Yeah.
And they force the kids to go. And you basically just keep the cycle going. You know what it's like, what it's going to be like? It's going to be hell on earth. You should be scared. Then they're scared all growing up and they send their kids. There's a solution. You're welcome, Scouting America. Even with all the controversy, many scouts have a lot of insane stories to tell that often show all the good times they had while in scouts. Every scout has their stories, but some are more insane than others. Scouting is supposed to prepare young boys for life in the outdoors by teaching them necessary skills to survive. However, they can't always teach common sense. While out on patrol, an older scout returned to their campsite to find the rest of the troop making fried chicken. When he entered the camp, the entire area smelled like bleach.
Bleach chicken.
And upon closer inspection, he was horrified to learn that they're attempting to fry their chicken in Clorox bleach. Bleached chicken comes back again, dude. It tastes okay, but Scout leader, I can't see. He quickly removed the chicken and told them not to eat any. Though many of the younger scouts were upset that they didn't get to have some of the bleached chicken.
We worked hard for the bleach chicken.
He's blind. Why can't I be? I have ascended Scout leader. Where'll I get my badge, Scout leader?
Hold on, what is the thought process?
I taste mercury in my mouth.
Do you think they got bleached chicken badges at least?
They better have gotten a Clorox badge at least.
Clorox.
And they fucking ingested bleach. What else could you do to not fucking, you know what I mean? Come on. Need a new badge. One of the major events every scout looks forward to is the Pinewood Derby. Which is the only reason. That's the only reason I even joined, because I saw it one time and I was like, whoa. It's a simple race where scouts build and customize small wooden cars, then race them down a short wooden track. What is meant to be harmless fun turned into a biohazard when one scout broke the rules. In 2004, Quail Run School had to be evacuated after a Cub Scout slipped a vial of mercury onto the car. When it hit the bottom of the track, it crashed and spilled the toxic material everywhere. Over 70 people were exposed to mercury and had to be tested to make sure none suffered from serious poisoning. All right, that time I'd be like, what was the mercury for? I thought it just looked kind of cool. Scout leader. He's gonna be blind too, right? I dipped them in my eyes so I can see like God. Scout leader. I want to see heaven, Scout leader.
Yeah, where did he get the mercury?
Thermometer.
Oh, thermometer? Yeah.
Probably. It is believed that the child's parents were responsible for the modification, which was installed on the car to increase its weight despite it being against the rules. So they wanted to raise the weight by putting mercury on it?
Don't you? I thought everyone weighs their cars.
They do. Unless they're like, oh, you gotta, no, let's add the weight now. Put a fucking like marble in it. You have the thermometers? Yeah. What the fuck is happening? After all the hazmat cleaning and ventilation was through, a fine of $5,000 was issued and the event was held the following Saturday. We will start up next week. It is not over. All the kids. Ooh. All the blind kids. Oh, thank God. Lawrence Machida was an assistant scoutmaster for Troop 183 located in New York until he was arrested for sharing drugs with a young scout. If it's weed, if you're like, he's 18, you're like, he's 15, you're like, you want to hit, that's not a big deal. What I see in my mind is a guy being like, whoa, you look like a wizard. He's like,
yeah, it's called PCP.
PCP, that sounds weird.
It's angel dust. Remember, you're Christian.
Oh. According to reports, Lawrence had invited the 13-year-old troop member to his home, where he gave the teen LSD, marijuana, and alcohol.
13-year-old? Come on.
13 years old.
Are you trying to impress a 13-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, I got some like crazy stuff at my house. You want to go back? I mean, what else does that look like? He was charged with 2 misdemeanors of unlawfully dealing with a child and failure to exercise control of a minor. After his arrest, he was removed from his position and charged $5,000 bail, which he posted with $2,500 in cash.
Oh, that's a young scout leader. I was
So
picturing-
he's just like,
he was probably 18.
he was the kid when he was 13. All the other people were like, oh, you're not going to be able to drink and smoke with us because you're a fucking pussy. Yes, sir. Yes, Scoutmaster. And now he's in control and he's just like, I'm going to give you the experience I've never had. But he just comes across as like, you know, a freak. LSD? If it was weed and alcohol, I'd be like, hey, probably like, you want a hit of a joint and beer? I'm not saying that's appropriate. I'm just saying LSD's insane.
Yeah, for a 13-year-old
Put
mind.
this on your tongue. Oh, Scoutmaster. Is this hell? Is this death? He's like, he first a bleached chicken and all of a sudden LSD. May I have one for the road, please? Another scout leader was ruining the lives of their troop by embezzling all of their funds. Amy Jo Modi had held numerous positions throughout her local Pennsylvania troop and was trusted with full access to all their financial accounts. Uh-oh. In July of 2023, another leader in the troop notified their bank of suspicious activity and inconsistencies in their finances. And after further investigation, the police discovered that Amy had stolen $5,962 and spent all of it on herself. Receipts showed that she had used the money to pay her Netflix subscription, paid for multiple tattoos, and paid for all of her DoorDash orders. And after this discovery, she was arrested and charged with felony theft by unlawful taking. Amy's not the only scout leader to get a felony. Glenn Taylor and David Hall took their troop to Goblin Valley State Park in Utah for an outing when they came across a protected rock formation called Hoodoo. Show Hoodoo. So wherever we're getting ready to get into, it was there. These kinds of formations are very rare, can take 2 million years to form, and a major tourist attraction in certain parks. After coming across this natural beauty, both men decided it would be a good idea to push it over. Why would that be a good idea? Yes, sir. Thank you, Scoutmaster. So David pulled out his phone and recorded Glenn toppling the structure while kids could be heard celebrating in the background. Yay! The recording soon went viral and earned both men felony criminal mischief and $5,000 fines apiece. The legal trouble wouldn't end there because just before the viral video, Glenn was suing a father and daughter for a car accident that supposedly caused him life-debilitating pain and sucked the joy out of his life. The father, who was being sued, saw the video and tried to get the case thrown out because there was clear evidence to show that Glenn suffered no injuries. Motherfucker was clapping and having a good time. However, Glenn's legal team argued that Taylor's quick recovery did not undo the medical bills and pain caused by the accident. After everything was settled, both men took a plea deal, which allowed them to avoid jail time if they followed the terms for 1 year. Many parents enroll their children in the Scouts to teach them discipline and skills that will prepare them for the future. One family tried to do this because their son was getting into trouble with his scientific experiments. But in the end, it didn't help. Ever since David Hahn was young, he had been interested in science and chemistry. His favorite book was the Golden Book of Chemistry Experiments, and he often performed small experiments from it. One of the more notable experiments told him how to make chloroform and instructed him to smell it, okay? Causing him to pass out for an hour.
You gotta smell that. You gotta be like,
Is this right? Fearing that his experiments might get more dangerous, he was enrolled in Boy Scouts to try and discipline him, but it only made him want to experiment more. After completing his Atomic Energy Merit Badge, David became inspired to try to create a nuclear reactor at home. He began stealing radioactive materials from smoke detectors, camping lanterns, batteries, and old clocks. He would then go back to his shed and use a Bunsen burner and a hollowed out block of lead to try to create a reaction. While he never successfully created nuclear energy, he was still exposed to dangerous levels of radiation that could be detected down the block. His experiments also caused his skin to burn, his hair to turn green, and he occasionally passed out from his condensed amount of radiation in his backyard shed. This kid kind of fucking rules, actually. It all came crumbling down in August of '94 when police stopped David and searched his vehicle, where they found a toolbox with an odd gray powder. And after asking what it was, David told the officer it was radioactive. And they immediately called the EPA and NRC, which led to a search and seizure at his home. A few months later, the EPA deemed the home a Superfund cleanup and removed 39 barrels of radioactive waste, which were taken to be stored in Utah. Officials also tried to get David to get medically evaluated, believing that he suffered severe damage from the major radiation he was exposed to, but David refused. I'm fine. Hair all grain and she looks like the Joker. I'm okay. Do I look weird to you? After all the media attention died down, he would join the Navy and get honorably discharged. Following his departure, he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. He also had another FBI investigation after someone claimed he was hoarding nuclear material, but agents found no materials in his possession. Fucking Iraq all over again. All they learned was David had started using cocaine and stopped taking his meds, which made him believe that people were out to shock his genitals with their brains. A few months after his interview with the FBI, he would be arrested for stealing smoke detectors in his apartment building with the intent to remove the nuclear material. At the time of his arrest, his face was covered in burns, believed to be caused by exposure to nuclear material, and he was sentenced to 90 days in jail.
Damn, he looks scary.
Which David, unfortunately, would die in 2016 due to an overdose of fentanyl and other drugs.
That took a turn. I wasn't expecting.
What do you mean you didn't expect? Motherfucker was... How from a young age are you that obsessed with nuclear energy? He's like, yeah, David also recovered perfectly and he's a normal fuck. No, I mean, he's gone. He's gone. Who knew the Boy Scouts could be so weird and insane, right? It's crazy to see what was supposed to be a fun way to get young boys in the outdoors turn into a hellscape of corrupt leaders and dangerous outings. With such a wide variety of threats and drama, it's no wonder that enrollment is at an all-time low. Which we didn't even scratch all of the weird sexual abuse and everything that happens. I mean, it is obvious, you know. Usually at these points, I just say, it's a video for another day. I'm not touching that. We already talked about, we got David in there. David's enough. All I gotta say is, if you're in the Boy Scouts, run away. I'm sure there's some motherfuckers that had a good time in the Boy Scouts.
Our Boy Scouts is just like a club. We never actually did the activities. We just hang out and play video games.
Your poor dad, dude. You seriously just keep painting him more and more as a monster. Yeah, we never went on camping trips we said we were going to. We just went back to my house.
We went to the snow one time, the mountains, for a day trip.
He didn't tell anybody. We just went. Okay, that's our Boy Scout video. Hey, thank you, Scout Leader. We will see you next time, Scout Leader. Hoorah!